All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Psyche Academy this morning. So today we're just going to be working on our open topic discussion mainly. We'll be going over through the Akashic Records homework as well, and then we'll be doing some partner readings around the end of today's class. So first we'll just go ahead and we'll get started with our meditation. So let's go ahead and get ourselves into our relaxed, comfortable posture, making sure our body is free of any particular points of strain. And straightening the back as much as you can. If you have to kind of do a bit of a lift, just helps to arc the spine. Again, help to align the chakra centers very well. So we can go ahead now and close our eyes. And just taking a deep breath in through our nose. And out slowly through our mouth. In through the nose. And out to the mouth. One last time, in through the nose, and out to the mouth. And just relaxing yourself and breathing normally. And just bringing your attention, bringing your focus to your heart space. Feel free to place your hand or your hands on your heart if you wish. Just checking in with yourself in this very moment. Allowing the energies of today, the energies of the blessings here in this moment, to be here with you now. Letting the energies of complete peace, complete serenity and surrender being a part of your entire being now. Just imagining that your mind feels like a tranquil ocean where there is no movement at all, simply stilled. Or when you can continue to hold this process of stillness, your body starts to become devoid of any particular demanding process upon it, so that it can align itself more harmoniously, increase your health, increase your longevity, increase your overall integrity throughout your body, throughout your mind, and your spirit. So just remaining again as this tranquil ocean, connecting to the infinite and allowing the bask of soothing, unconditional love to flow through you. And let's all just take a deep breath in through our nose. And out to the mouth. And coming back into the present moment. Breathing out our hands, breathing out our toes if need be. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and return. Okay, great. Welcome, Khalil. Hello.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Hi.
Hi, Khalil.
Okay, great. All right, guys, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to our morning affirmations, and then we'll be moving on to the water. So for my morning affirmation this morning, I realize that, again, at times I still feel scattered in certain areas, still deciding exactly what is the best path to be utilizing my energy for. But I realize that through calmness and through patience, that everything in regards to those pathways will start to naturally bring themselves automatically into my reality for me to determine exactly that this has been my highest passion all along. Okay. So let's move on to Willany, and we'll move end at hand. So Willany, if you'd like to share your affirmation for this morning.
Okay. I realize that I need to do the things that I love to do, and that includes exercising, so I can learn to love it and appreciate it, and I realized that both are for my best benefits and for my overall health.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you. All right, let's move on to Sosa.
I acknowledge that I think my time management skills suck, but I think that's also a perception, and I can change that. So it no longer sucks. I just let it be whatever it is, whatever it is. So I get frustrated and lost in the, so I will no longer allow that.
Things suck. All right, that's great. No, that's good. Thank you, Sosa. All right, and Khalil.
I acknowledge that there's still some things that frustrate me at various times, and I realize that that's a good thing because now I can have something to work on.
Great. Excellent. Thank you. And Ann.
Patty's texting me here, and she says she can hear us, but she doesn't know how to get on.
Okay.
So anyway, while I'm doing my affirmation, she can hear, but she doesn't know what to do to get on. I affirm that I let my thoughts get carried away. I have trouble controlling my thoughts, and when I get into emotional states, they run rampant and take me over, and I catch myself in the middle of all of that. And so I understand that meditation is a great way to learn to manage your thoughts and learn to work with them so that they don't control you. So thoughts are like it's lead me to watching my thoughts and managing my thoughts.
Okay, great. All right, yeah, so I just sent an invitation to Patty. So Patty, if you're watching, an invitation has been sent. Just go check your Gmail, and you should see a link in your Gmail there, and that should be able to get you into the room. Okay. All right, so we will go ahead and move on to our water affirmations. So let's go ahead and grab our glass of water. Again, positive, powerful affirmation that you want to place within your water. And we've got about 1 minute, so let's go ahead. Okay, so very good. So we will now move on to Akashic Records homework. So I believe it was, Lily, did you post a new form of homework for your in the student group?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, it looked really good. Very well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So again, that's basically just the overall feeling that we want to create. So Willany was able to do her basic Akashic Records homework, and then moved into the advanced with more detail throughout the through the bulleted points, so to speak. Did anybody else manage to get anything through their Akashic Records homework that they'd like to share?
Well, I don't know if it was because we were talking about Egypt, but that popped up for me, and I got Egypt, princess, the pyramids, crocodile, water, like rivers or streams of water that came underneath the temples, and golden. I didn't go deep with it because I've been running around doing stuff, but that's what I got when I sat down with it.
That was good. It's some really good information there as well. I do feel that. I feel that there's some Egyptian connections to be able to. I actually just talked to a client of mine the other day, and she was actually remembering doing Egyptian hieroglyphs, actually writing some of the hieroglyphs on the wall as well too. So a lot of people that I meet are very connected to Egypt and Atlantis. That seems to be the common theme for many people. Welcome, Patty. Hello.
Good morning.
We see you.
I'm sorry.
Giving us a tour. That's good to see. I'm glad you're able to come through. Yeah, Google Hangouts can sometimes be a bit of a frustrating thing to get into. Try to make it as easy as you can, but it is technology.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody else have anything?
Well, I got when I did it. Got Brittany area, Forest Mountain, Stonehenge, Druid, Merlin's Inner Circle, Other Beings, Rituals, Crafts, Flying Crafts. I didn't go into too much detail.
Okay, sorry, Celeste, could you repeat that again? Sorry, there was just a little bit of feedback in that.
Well, I have at least 2 past lives where I was Druid, but in a quick Akasha reading one. So what I got was the Brittany area, Forest, Mountainy, Stonehenge, Druid, like really clearly, Merlin's Inner Circle, Other Beings, because there was a lot of them, Rituals, and Flying Crafts over us. So,
very good. So it sounds like a lot of Stonehenge and Druidic energies there as well. Yeah, I've had those kind of lives as well too. I can remember myself, being a part of the Druidic faith and paganism and looking into Stonehenge and all that. So we've had quite a few memories of that. Very good. So I'm glad to see another person in those Druidic level lines as well too. Sorry, Patty.
Yeah.
I just had to mute you, Patty, because there was just too much rumbling in the background, so I just wasn't able to hear Celissa. So Patty, you're currently muted. If you want to unmute yourself at any time, you can go ahead and do so. Patty, were you able to look into the Akashic Records at all yesterday or today?
I don't think maybe I'm not trusting the information.
That's you're very new to it, so
because what's coming through is information I'd already had come up in a quantum healing hypnosis session. So I kind of think my ego mind is talking.
But you know what, ego's okay, and it's all right to talk. What kind of information did you get from your quantum healing? Was there any kind of past life regression you got?
Yeah, I got a couple different ones. One was, well, the one that was on Earth was I was an Indian shaman, and the scene that came up was I was all the people we were having a ceremony, and I knew they wanted me to be able to give them information that was going to lift them up and give them hope, but what was coming through to me wasn't a message of hope. It was a message of our end, so to speak. So that's what came up on Earth, and off Earth it was I had something else come up.
Okay, well that's good. So at least you have some experience with the past life regression. So you've had some certain memories that have come up. So that's great. We'll look into a little bit more formats of the Akashic Records in tomorrow's class on Tuesday. So Monday and Tuesday we work more primarily on those energies. Today is again just kind of a review day for the homework, just to see how people went, how people did for that. Yesterday was again mostly just kind of a brief, I guess you could say, go-kart version of it. But Monday and Tuesday definitely this week we'll be focusing more on that. Okay, great. So, yeah, Willanie shared her particular Akashic records on the student group. Willanie, do you want to share in regards to those who may not have seen it yet, what you discovered through your Akashic?
Sure. I had an Egyptian bird pyramid that looked like the Giza. Princess, Mother, Queen, Sun, Shining Star, Starship, Nile River, Tomb, and herbs. I think that I was a herbalist or herbalista. A little bit more in depth as far as for the Egyptian bird, I got that it was a symbol of faith, freedom, and life. As far as the pyramid, I got birthplace, essence of nature, life, and wisdom. For Princess, I got father of Hotep, or my father was Hotep. Princess of prosperity, hope, and peace. As far as mother, I was a mother of 3 with 2 boys and a girl. And I asked for names, and I got Pashep, Hadim, and Ramina. For Queen, I got characteristics of it, which was caring, giving, yet stern, loving, protective, authoritative. And I just got more information regarding the rest, too, yesterday.
That's quite deep, so very good. Yeah, actually even get names as well, too. Names can be very challenging to get, so you're able to get names from that. That's quite good.
Thank you.
Sometimes I've had to give like nicknames for people because sometimes the names themselves that I receive aren't the actual names of the people, but just names that they can connect with to get more understanding of the life.
Right, and I noticed that because I like Egyptian culture or history, and I know that there are different parts of their names in Egyptian life that's very long, so I thought that was pretty cool to get.
Exactly. If you have a good comprehension with how the culture is as well, too, that aids you, because now the guides are able to kind of translate that to you for something that you can understand. So say, for example, if it's a foreign culture that you're not familiar with, sometimes trying to get the names in that sense can be a bit challenging because you may not know about pronunciation or spelling, etc. So they have to kind of compensate and give you like little nicknames here and there.
Right.
But, that's good, very good. Because like with me, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I don't think I know too much about Egyptian names, but like sometimes I've got like Matara or something like that, right? So something that comes through. But yeah, I haven't really looked too much into Egyptian names and stuff like that. That's very good, very well done. All right, Khalil, how about you? How did things go?
It went well. Let's see. So the past life that that I got was I was basically I could see myself in this field with tall grass. There were other people. It looked like American colonial times. I got the name Redcoats, and I could see some guys with red coats on, and they were in the field marching. There were some drums playing, and in the background I could hear the drums, and I could hear kind of like a flute or a lute type of noise. And they had long, sharp, pointy somethings. I could see the points, but I couldn't see the rest of it. So I suspect maybe it was like muskets with bayonets or something like that, or whatever it could have been. And that was it. That was what I got from it.
Was it the rifles that had like the daggers at the end? That what you're kind of
right. It was. I could see the points.
Yeah.
I guess I could kind of see the points from over somebody's shoulder, but I couldn't actually see what was in front.
I see. Okay. Maybe it sounds almost something like the Renaissance in certain ways.
Maybe.
The Renaissance muskets. That's the way they would do it, and even like the early World War era as well too, with all the daggers at the end of the rifles. Very interesting, yeah. That's good, some information. Again, everybody's done really, really fantastic. Just seeing a lot of great information come up, and just being able to feel that kind of personal rapport as well, too. So it feels great. All right, great, guys. So that is just our Akashic Records homework, so feel free to continue to work on that if you wish throughout the rest of the week. Again, working also on developing more of your psychic development, I guess you could say, or psychic abilities. Maybe just being able to work together with a friend or a partner. Anybody who you feel might like to have a reading as well too. If you would like to call somebody up or invite somebody over and just invite them and do a reading with them, that would be great as well too. Also, don't be afraid if you want to use tools to go ahead and use tools. So if you have tarot deck, an oracle card deck, an angel deck, etc., and if you feel that those are a great help, go ahead and use them. That'll be the same thing for today as well when we get into partner readings. If you guys do have a tarot deck or anything like that that you would like to use for your reading, by all means go ahead. It's all about being able to work together with that tool to help sharpen your abilities. There may come a point where you may realize, well, maybe I don't need the cards that much anymore. Now I'm able to naturally do this, then go ahead. But if you feel that, it's kind of like trying to say, okay, well, I'm preparing for a triathlon, but I'm going to run the entire course of the city, right? It's not saying that you have to do that, right? Go at your own pace to what you feel is very, very comfortable. So if you feel very comfortable utilizing a tool when doing a reading, then please go ahead and do that. And that way we can move into, eventually, going into just complete and total intuition and psychic ability for that. Okay? All right. So today we're just going to be working on open topic discussion. So this is basically anything that you guys want to talk about, anything that relates to Psychic Academy, anything that may be happening within your lives, anything that you feel you would like to discuss, whatever it may be. So why don't we just go ahead and open the floor. And it's not just about me commenting back, it's for everybody else as well too. This is kind of like open community time as well. So let's just kind of go around the virtual circle here and just say, is there any open topics that anybody would like to share?
I had one.
Mm-hmm.
It was regarding Kidioki's reading on us a few weeks ago. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to remember our dreams or do something with them. Okay.
It's something that you know may happen or may not happen.
Okay.
Basically, he was saying this in a way for you to kind of click in. Maybe something did happen that you noticed this transformation. It's kind of almost like a test in awareness as well too. Being able for you to become more aware about where you're taking yourself. So I can see this big click in you, especially like your psychic ability is blossoming like crazy, and like you're moving more into, interpreting the Akashic records really, really well. So I feel this real big, strong awakening through you and Kaleo as well too. So I think you guys are both having this kind of like being kept in a cocoon, and you're just getting all this illumination happening through both of you. And I feel that's basically what Kidioki was describing on your behalf, was really looking into how you're cocooning, so to speak, into this higher consciousness and moving more further. Even having upgrades, so to speak, or updates in that way, energetic tech support in a way of the same, and being able to have this expansion kind of come together in your life. So in the last couple of weeks, I've certainly noticed an increase in you guys.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, great. And of course, everybody else as well too. Everybody I feel here is really just being able to take off and expand. I don't even feel like I have to do that much. I just feel like, okay, here you go, guys. Here you guys go, and here's the information. Feel free to take the ball and run with it. And each and every single one of you has been able to run with it really, really well. And so it makes my work very easy. So, but this is kind of how I naturally teach. Like a lot of the stuff that I do is very easygoing, very laid back. That's the kind of person that I am. Right? I don't like giving people, academic assignments and having to grade people. Like I would never do that. I never liked that in high school. So I would never do that for people here in the Psychic Academy. We're not about academics. It's all about personal achievement and seeing how far you've come. It's not to say that you guys won't be challenged. You certainly will be challenged. But it's not looking into the idea of saying that, okay, well, you got a D-, so you're not going to pass the Psychic Academy, or you got an A+, you're on the honor roll. It's nothing like that. We just don't need that in regards to what we're doing here. It's just being able to really challenge yourself and motivate yourself for this type of achievement and acceleration. The more that you're passionate in this, the more that you're really ready to go all out and just blaze that trail, the more that this acceleration factor can begin. And not only do you have psychic ability, it's not just about the ability of having psychic senses. It's about being able to have empowerment. That's really what we're looking for here in the Academy, is really looking into the idea that you have a lot of tools at your disposal, you have a lot of natural abilities that are starting to blossom, but that's not what it's all about. It's being able to see exactly how is your heart. Is your heart connected? Are you understanding that you are connected to all things? Are you understanding that you're connected to one? Are you understanding that you can actually just go out and talk to people and feel that soul bond with them right away? That you're more so connecting to a reality body. This really is the key, that you're not just looking at a self anymore. You're looking at a reality body. You're looking at the self plus reality body. So the reality body, again, is just everything within what you can perceive as reality. And that every single thing in reality is open to communication. So we're able to communicate with everything in reality, whether it be people, whether it be animals, whether it be trees, plants, nature, inanimate objects, your own home, etc. You're interacting together with your reality body. You're just being able to see the signs and synchronicities of reality and how it communicates with you. It was funny yesterday as well too, because I was just about to step outside to go to the store, and I noticed that there was a lot of cloud cover coming in. And I just saw all these birds just flying the opposite direction. I decided, okay, I may need to bring my umbrella. So I did. It was just a call sign for me. Fortunately, it didn't rain, but it was just kind of a call sign and saying, okay, this universe is telling me there may be a storm on the horizon, so just get your umbrella, right? Those are just kind of the signs and synchronicities that you get. It's kind of like you're looking into the dream world, where you're looking into decryption, you're looking into signs and synchronicities that are coming together, and that your physical reality is no different. You're looking into decryption, you're looking into signs and synchronicities about what the world was saying to you. I was just constantly saying to the weather, please don't rain, let it just be, I don't mind if it's cloudy, but just don't rain. But I still had my umbrella with me. Unfortunately, it did not rain, so that's good. But just being able to see these little signs and synchronicities. You know, sometimes you'll walk along the mall and maybe you just see a person, you know, all of a sudden spilling their fries, you know, over the floor and stuff like that. Right? That sometimes can be a sign as well too. That can just represent the idea of scattered thinking, because maybe that's just giving you the idea that your mind is kind of shifting from place to place to place. All of a sudden you see this person, you know, scattering their fries from the food court all over the floor, and then you're just going to say, okay, that's giving me a sign right there that I feel scattered. Everything's just basically scattering across the floor. So this will help me to center. Plus, when I'm around a lot of people, I can feel scattered. So it's just very, very amazing about how the universe interacts with us through the idea of actions, through synchronicities that come together in our reality, and it works that way. Just as if we were to try to interpret formats of phenomena contained within dreams, the exact same thing happens here. So sometimes we'll just get those signs and synchronicities. Sometimes you just know. You know, you see an 11:11 on the clock, you know, and maybe whatever you're thinking at that time gives you the idea of why that 11:11 was there. Maybe it was just a moment of inspiration, a moment there where you transcended a personal boundary. Right? That's again just playing with a sign of synchronicity, a living dream deciphering. Right? So again, reality can be really, really exciting when you start focusing on the reality body altogether. Okay, anybody else want to share any kind of open topic?
I just wanted to ask, is Adronis in your head all the time as a thought form? And I ask this because I have things in my head. I have thoughts that aren't mine, I know. Does he talk to you through thoughts when he's just talking to you, or how do you know it's him, rather than when you're going to channel out to everybody else?
Yeah, because we are one being, because we are basically merged and all that stuff, my natural thinking process is very much like Adronis's. And so I don't really get the feeling too much of him talking in my head or anything like that. Actually, the clearest that he comes through is when I channel him and basically bring forward. When I get these guidance forms of thoughts, it mainly comes through a collective. It doesn't really just come through Adronis. So it's basically that Adronis represents a liaison. He's a mediator in the channeling state. There have been times where I've noticed just directly it is his energy and he's directly talking to me. That is actually quite rare when I'm not channeling him. Sometimes he'll come through, he'll make himself known, he'll share me this just kind of illuminating wisdom, and there's no real thoughts as well too. It's instantaneous understanding. So it doesn't really even have to play around with thoughts in the head, because Adronis doesn't even really work that way. He's all about simultaneity of flow, right? So everything that I do in regards to flow and just being able to be in the moment would basically be like an Adronis factor. But he's not really the kind of person that just says, okay, Brad, you need to do this, you need to do that, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I've never gotten that. So it's really just being able to connect with him a lot more strongly when I'm channeling, but he's all about flow. There's been times where he just appeared in my dreams a couple of times. Another time I think was back in January, where he was just popping in and he just showed me these sacred circuits upon this kind of hovering palette, and he's kind of capacitated as well too. He came through that, and that was very obvious. That was just because there were certain forms of upgrades that needed to happen at the time. But really, when I'm just going through my day-to-day activities, I have general guidance, and the guidance is a collective. So it's Adronis, it's Rayar, it's everything that represents higher consciousness that comes through me. So I'm basically interacting more so with the collective rather than a liaison of the collective. And that's basically what Adronis is when he comes through. He's just a liaison working together on behalf of my collective that's communicating. And he just has this celestial knowledge, he has this great information, and he pops through. And then if Rayar pops in, she does the same thing, just on a feminine level. So that's basically how I communicate with him. But my thought structure is very much, you know, kind of like reality body format. Just being able to be a conscious matrix communicator. That there's just times where I'm just on, there's times where I'm not on, right? So it's kind of like a light switch. I can turn it on, I can turn it off, right? There's times where I just want to relax and have some fun. I can just turn that off and just basically be in my space, have my own thoughts there. There's times where I want to be on, I flick it on, and poof, it comes on, right? I've been able to learn how to just kind of direct that channel between energy of conscience, of higher conscience, and that point of relaxation. However, there are some times if I feel that I've turned it off and they need to get a hold of me, it does automatically turn back on, right? So that does happen. But there is that sense of being able to have that kind of mindful balance between both hemispheres, so to speak. So a lot of the stuff that I work with and that I just naturally go into is basically an automatic process through collective consciousness, which I feel is the assemblement of my own thoughts that kind of happen. Does that help?
Yeah.
It's a little complex to understand, to really share in that way. But it's just that my thoughts, I never really consider my thoughts to be my thoughts. I don't really have my thoughts. I just have thoughts. And thoughts themselves can come from anywhere. I basically surf the spectrum. So if there's, you know, if you're looking at a whole rainbow spectrum, this is what I surf. I just surf all of this. And so I haven't really categorized what I feel is my own thoughts. I know exactly my likes and my dislikes. I know exactly what I enjoy, etc. But as far as it comes to thoughts, I'm very much a mirror. I reflect on people. And so if I look at somebody and they're giving me a really great idea, bam, all of a sudden I'll get this flood of ideas coming into my head that I knew were not my own, but they're visiting. So I simply refer to them as visiting thoughts or visitors, right? So I get visitors a lot, all the time, coming through. Sometimes I know exactly where they're coming from, sometimes I don't. But basically because I'm an open channel, I'm receiving this information all the time. So I don't really look at the idea of my thoughts or other thoughts. I just see thoughts, and thoughts themselves come and go, and I decide exactly what is useful and what's not. And so, you know, the visitors come in, they come out the door, and they leave. So basically just being able to be mindful about what type of thoughts you come through. I think if when you actually transcend past the my thoughts stage, you're better off because you're not looking into identity pertaining to thoughts. So I don't really say to myself, I have my thoughts. I don't. I have thoughts that can work in service for me, but they're not mine. They can leave at any time, right? That's kind of the mentality I have altogether with thoughts. And so that's really what I would recommend for everybody. You know, at first, you can certainly look into the patterns that you have within yourself, look into the type of thoughts that you feel have been a part of identity for quite some time, and then just being able to imagine, well, they are just thoughts. They're just passing by. They're visitors. So I'm going to say to those thoughts, you guys can leave at any time because I'm just open here. It's an open door house. You can come in and you can come out. And as long as you're able to do that, you no longer have your thoughts. You just have thoughts. You're just a vessel. And that's it. Now you can actually allow a certain form of broad communication and a broad experience to come through as you no longer own or adopt thought forms. That's one way of putting it. Does that help?
That makes sense, yes.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of thoughts that come and go as well, and racing thoughts, but some of them, sometimes it's like there's someone talking to me, and I don't necessarily want to engage with that.
Right. Yeah.
Wherever those thoughts are coming from, I just have to tell them to go.
Exactly, yeah. Just say, here's the door. There you go, guys. Go on out. And that's it. The thoughts are just appearing because we feel that we still own them. We're still attracting them in certain ways. So we have this magnetic vibration that's saying, okay, I'm worried about money, right? Money comes in. Or, okay, I'm worried about this space. Okay, space comes in. I'm worried about my relationship. Relationship worry comes in. So we're inviting these thoughts in. We're saying, okay, come on in, come on in. This is part of my identity, so come on in. Even the times where we become interested in things. So if we have a high interest, we're very positive about something, those thoughts will come in as well too. So it's all just being able to determine exactly what can I do to move past identity thinking and simply look into open thinking, right? So this is the whole idea. So you're moving from identity to openness. This is what they refer to as pure thoughts. So when you have pure thoughts, that simply indicates that the thoughts don't bond to you. They're not like glue. They're basically just coming in, they're sharing their expression, and they're coming out, right? And they're completely original thoughts. They're basically something that's not coming in through the state of attachment. They're coming in through openness. So it's open thinking. So this is basically what we're attempting to do. It's kind of like looking at, Windows platforms, for example. If you have the Windows operating system, and then we have community open source operating systems, right? So we don't have everything that's all locked down and hard-coded and it needs to be this way, et cetera, et cetera. We now have open software. So now we can actually start to calibrate it. We can work with it, et cetera. It can come and go, right? That's all we're doing with thoughts. So now the identity thoughts are basically that which is hard-coded. They have intentions. They are basically assigned through identity, and they feel that they're a part of you, and that you're latching onto these thoughts. No, I need these thoughts. I can't live without these thoughts together, right? That would be the idea of identity or hard-coded thoughts. They're just so cemented and implanted in our brains that we're just not willing to let them go, right? So when you have that transformed into open thinking, now the open thinking becomes pure. Now the thoughts can come and go as they need to, because you no longer feel that you're attached to anything in this world. Everything really now is just a complement. So now we're looking into complementary thinking, complementary pure thoughts. This happens with relationships, this happens with work, this happens with finances, everything. The more that you can see complement in everything that you do, rather than the idea of attachment or the feeling of possessiveness or the feeling of high identity states, the more that you move into complement, now you just feel freedom. That's it. That's the only way you're ever going to feel freedom completely in this reality, is when you start living the life of complement rather than the life of identity. Rather than just looking that it's only about the self. It's the self plus the reality body. The self is now the conduit that is helping to interpret everything that the reality body represents. And so that's being able to sharpen our psychic abilities, looking into our intuition. We're noticing that there's more opportunity that's around in the world. We're able to decrypt a lot of these signs and synchronicities that come together. We have clarity. We're able to form relationships that do not serve a means to an end. They're all very complementary. They're very open. So if a person wants to be a great friend, okay, great. Hey, good friend, good to see you. I'm together with you because I'm complement. I am here because you are here. You are here because I am here. That's really the kind of unique nature between the idea of complementary relationship and the form of conditional relationship. Conditionality has barriers, has borders. You need to be this, that, and the other thing to be my friend. Well, okay, that's nice. I don't think I'll play that game, but thank you so much for asking anyways, man. It's all about that friendship has no borders. Friendship has no barriers. Even if it's a person who may be having a challenging time, you're there for them because you feel that there's something about them that complements you, right? This is coming back into the law of catalysts. So again, we understand the law of attraction. The law of catalysts is just the elements that are being taken out of the group-based mind of a law of attraction. So we're taking the singular elements. A certain person, for example, who may feel that they're down the dumps, they're not feeling too good, but you see a quality in them that you're very, very intrigued by. And this represents the complement of relationship. And so you talk to them more about why you feel there is a quality to them, why you feel that they are a complement to you as a friend. And now they start to see this as well, too. They don't realize that. Now they do realize that, and now change can take place. And all you're doing is just being yourself and saying, I like you because you're very open-hearted, you're very conversational, you look on a lot of bright factors, a lot of positive thinking, etc. Even though you're feeling down the dumps, this is what I notice about you, and that's the quality that I feel open to as compliment. Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you so much, right? And just that little bit of words right there can be everything in the world they need to change themselves around. So all you're doing is being a catalyst for them. Now they are actually taking in that information. They're excited about this. Oh my goodness, nobody's ever spoken to me that nicely before. Nobody's ever told me I've had those qualities. So as a catalyst, you've helped them to realize exactly what's available within them for them to change. Right? That's the law of catalyst, and that's complementary relationship. So that's the whole idea, and it doesn't just go with friends. It goes with family. It goes with lovers, right? Lovers themselves, especially. Complement. That's all you need, is living together in a level of complement. Being able to see exactly what are the qualities that you feel are complementary to this catalyst that represents your partner, that represents your friend, that represents your mother, whoever it is, right? That's the whole idea. We live in catalyst, and being able to look into exactly to see, why have I attracted the people in my inner circle? What's the quality that I enjoy about the complement that they are? That's something you need to ask yourself. Do you have a full complement of an inner circle relationship of those particular people who you feel complement you? If they don't, you need to ask why you're still hanging on to them, because that's part of thought form identity attachment. So it's just about reflecting on yourself. Any questions on that? No, completely assimilated, everything good? All right. Hey guys, any other open topics?
Let's see. Brad, I wanted to just I guess let everybody know, whenever you talked about the still ocean visualization during the meditation today, that really made it easier for me to not have other thoughts jumping all in when I could just visualize the ocean still. And I noticed that when I got distracted, the water kind of moved around, and it was easy for me to see, hey, there's a distraction, let's still it back again. And it was easier to kind of push those thoughts out during the meditation by trying to still the water.
Absolutely. So that's basically, in that sense, kind of like mirror reflective thinking in that way, that you just know you see yourself as the ocean. Right? So if you feel that you're very, very tranquil and you're very much at ease, the ocean itself becomes stilled. Even with my perception of it when I was doing as well too, the ocean was pretty still, but there was still a little bit of waves that were coming up and down, right? So it was basically me still just going through process, directing the meditation. I could feel that there wasn't rough waters, but it was kind of like just wavy, just kind of like how you're bobbing on the surface of the ocean. Right? That's kind of how it felt with me. But yeah, I mean, that's why I use the ocean meditation, because it's very, very vivid, and it really connects you into your natural mental state of thinking. So if you're feeling that, it's rough waters, there's tidal waves coming, etc., and you are stressed out as hell, right? So everything, getting like these huge tsunamis and tidal waves happening on the ocean, right? That's just someone who is just obsessively thinking, who's currently in a state of worry, who's constantly afraid. Their emotions are, erratic and havoc, right? When there's a person who just notices that there's just the stillness of the ocean itself, there is peace, there is calmness, there is tranquility. That is a very powerful mind, right? The powerful mind is the one that's still, not the one that's wavy, right? The waviness really is the idea of scattered thinking, right? It's emotions, and emotions themselves are powerful, but they lower consciousness, right? So when we're looking into emotional states, whenever we see emotion, right, it's basically energy in motion. That's why we call it that. We call it energy in motion. That's emotion. So any time that you're in an emotional state, energy is being shaken up. It's tidal waves. It's this. It's like 10.0 on the Richter scale, right? Very, very powerful energy, but it does not expand your consciousness. It keeps you contained, secluded in this little tiny space. Everything else is here. That's your state when you're in emotion. You're in this itty bitty little dot. And that's it. Oh my goodness, my husband's going to leave me, or I can't pay the rent, or I can't do this, I can't do that. It keeps you confined in that little box. And that's it. And that's the entire emotional state. You're trapped inside this little bitty cube. When you actually finally are able to transcend that, and now you're coming back, you're in bliss. This is nirvana, so to speak, right? So when you come into bliss, it's not even being, oh my God, everything's so exciting, blah, 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 because that's an emotional state, right? That's emotion, right? When you're in bliss, you're the natural stillness of the ocean. You're just super calm. You're in a Zen state. You're very much in the purity of love. So you can call it bliss. You can call it nirvana. You can call it unconditional love. You can call it source. Whatever you'd like to call it is fine. These are not emotions at all. These are all states of being. This is all what you would refer to as surrendering states, neutrality states, right? And we're going into emotion. Even if we feel we win the lottery, we get a ticket, and oh my God, $5 million, right? Of course we'll be super excited. There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to be super excited about that. And oh my goodness, I'm just completely excited. This is awesome. Great. It feels great to be positive. It really does. And positivity can be a really great tool. It feels amazing. However, we don't stay in positivity permanently. It's not possible. None of us are truly, surgically smiles with everything, right? We're not always, in that ecstatic mood, right? We're going to feel that there will be that time. We'll certainly get that height, and then we'll eventually level out, and we'll come out to that. It's kind of like, again, surfing a wave. It's like looking at the ocean. There's a really big wave coming in. It's lasting quite a while, and then it crashes on the shore, right? Same thing with us. Everything in regards to vibration are waves. So sometimes we get little trinkles here in the room. I'm not feeling too excited. We get the big waves. Oh my goodness, this is exciting. Then we get the big crashing waves of chaos as well too, right? So the little waves can be small excitement, or it can be small fear. The big waves can be big excitement or colossal fear, right? It all just depends. But eventually, they crash upon the shore, and you can have the chance to level out. And as you level out, that stillness now becomes an opportunity for you. Now you're able to come back into that moment. Now you're able to see exactly what the universe is holding for you, right? Seeing exactly what it's going to tell you. That's it. And you will only experience that through these states, through bliss, through nirvana, through love, through source. You will not experience higher states with this. It's not possible. Okay? That's keeping you here, right? So anytime you feel, oh, I'm just going to get really, really excited, really emotional, etc., yeah, that's great. Then you're going to have a lot of depth in that little tiny bit of area, but you're not going to be able to see all this, right? You're going to have great depth when it comes to this. This is why we go so deep in, well, what happens if this happens? Well, what happens if that happens? What if, right? We're going so deep into this little dot, that becomes our reality. Great depth, but only depth to that theme, rather than all that is, right? And that's what emotion does. It's a focus. It's a certain state of emotional focus that creates this tidal wave of energy. We had some way of hooking up technology, to us, and actually are able to trigger the amount of energy that comes through emotion. We could probably power a city. Right? It's very, very powerful. This is why a lot of guides and a lot of other beings in higher dimensions actually have to stay away from us when we're emotional, because it is so powerful. And a lot of them have said, you guys have no idea how powerful you are when you go into this, right? Like, it's just a sonic boom. It's a sonic wave, right? Especially if it's a person who's in great distress, right? They're just leaking this everywhere. It's just boom, boom. It's like letting off minefields. Bam, 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 bam. Right? And beings can't come near you. They would love to come near you. This is why a person is just really traumatized and saying, why aren't my guys listening to me? Why can't I come here? Etc. So you're not giving them an open space, a welcoming space for them to come. It's like you're just detonating minefields all around yourself, right? And that's why they can't step in. If you really want your guides to step in, come to center. Bring yourself into alignment. So if you're feeling really bad about yourself, bring in that positive reinforcement so that you can level yourself out. Okay? So then you level yourself out. Positive energy only exists to counteract negative energy. That's why it's there, okay? It's like a battery, right? You need to have a plus, you need to have a minus. They create equality to themselves so that it can function, right? Same thing with this. You have the minus, you have the plus. You're feeling over here, come over here. You're feeling too much of this, ground yourself, right? That's the whole idea. You're coming into the center point, and now the center point brings you into bliss, brings you into nirvana. Now you're able to feel that connection with your guides. Now you're able to feel the connection of the earth. Now you can hear the animals communicating with you. Now you can hear Mother Nature communicating with you, because you're here now. You're not here or here. Right? That's the whole key. So a lot of the spiritual movement and the self-empowerment movement is all about positive energy, that's good. Yes, it certainly is good if you need it to counterbalance, right? You're already feeling really good about yourself. It's not about constantly dumping more positive energy on you, because now you're going to feel like you're afloat in the clouds and you can't ground yourself, right? And this is how things can be taken advantage of you. Certain themes of life take advantage of you because you're too far up here. You're no longer concerned about the ways of life here, but that's not grounding yourself. A Zen monk in that sense is not like this all the time. They're here. They're right there. And that's because they are realizing that they are connected. That is the stillness of the moment that reveals all, right? It's kind of like, again, that we're looking at the ocean of calmness, right? We're only going to see exactly how far that ocean stretches by its calmness, by actually being able to see all the way to the horizon, the calm water. When we see a bunch of waves going up, we're only going to be obstructed by the waves. So when we have that calmness, we can actually see exactly how far the ocean stretches, and we can bond with that ocean. through calmness, and through strength of bliss. That's the whole key power force. Okay, does that help? Cool. Cool, makes sense?
It does. Thank you.
Okay, great, excellent. All right, any other open topics before we get into partner readings? No, everybody good?
Fred, I have a question.
Yeah.
I guess it's more of a personal question as far as how do you know if you are going to be a channeler? Like you can say I want to channel, but how do you know if someone or a being wants to channel with you?
The only reason you should be a channeler is because that's who you are. There
Okay.
should be no other reason, right?
Mhm.
That was one of the big things that I learned as well, too. At first, I thought it was just really, really cool. I was investigating it at first. I wasn't actually getting into it. I wanted to see exactly how these channels worked, how was it that they were done. And one of them who was talking to me, who really taught me a lot, was basically saying, well, it's not just about the idea of thinking that this is cool, that this is interesting. You have to be this. This is who you are. You should be doing it for no other reason. Even Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, he says that in his philosophy as well, too. He says, why do you want to become a channeler? He says, you are doing this because this is who you are. There should be no other reason. Right? That's the best answer I can give. It's like, oh, it's exciting to communicate with other forms of consciousness. It's exciting to connect with those aspects. Absolutely, it's exciting. But is that exciting as an interest, or is this exciting because you know this is who you are? Right? And that's the whole key. It's not just about being a channel as well, too. It's about being a healer. It's about being a psychic. Oh, I'll be able to look into people's minds. And I'll be able to, eventually predict the lottery numbers and stuff like that. I've had people that have actually come up to me and say that. Right? I just want to, look into people's mind. I want to see what they're thinking. Maybe eventually I'll be able to win the lottery as well, too. I'm like, okay, man, I don't think I'm the kind of teacher for you. Right? So that's the whole idea, is that they feel that it serves a means to an end. If you feel that channeling or psychic ability serves for a means to an end, it's not for you, right? It's basically saying, yeah, I'm doing this because this is who I am. This is what I naturally feel myself. I can produce, I can become, I can develop into myself because this is who I am and this is why I'm doing it. Great. That's perfect. I'm happy to assist you in any way you can. That's what I like to hear. And I tell people that as well, too. People that want to go on that one-on-one personal trainings. I say, why do you want to become a channeler? Well, it's cool. It's cool. That's great, right? So it's really just saying I would love to see that heart-based response. So, in reply to that, it's just that, you want to be a channeler because it's who you are. It's what you can actually do. You're not connecting to extraterrestrials. You're connecting to family. Right? You're not connecting to angels. You're connecting to family. You're not connecting to the universe. You're connecting to your body. Right? That's the whole idea. I first got so excited, oh my God, extraterrestrial consciousness, we're not alone in the universe, hallelujah, it's so amazing, it's incredible. I knew it, I knew this since I was a kid, etc. That was my excitement when I first started this. I was thrilled beyond belief and saying, oh my God, are you telling me that there's humans on other planets? I thought we were just here, I thought it was the big banana-headed creatures that had second jaws coming out. The predators and all that stuff like that were meant to be on other planets, things that just look disgusting, big pockets of slime. That was my old mentality, right? And then I just said, no, there are human beings on other planets. Other humans exist. And I was like, oh my God, Star Trek was right. So, and I just looked at that, and I was so amazed, and I was so excited about that. And that was how I began. The first couple of months, I was very just positive energy, new agey, right? And then I just finally started to gravitate and move more into a state of calmness. I said, this is what I want to do. This is who I am. I found my calling. I found this area of void within myself that is now becoming filled. And I looked forever to find out what could I possibly do to fill that void. Maybe I got to get a new job. Maybe I need to make more money, etc. It had nothing to do with that. It was all about spiritual lacking, right? And so as soon as I got into this, as soon as I moved into spirituality, this huge void became filled. And so this is why I continue to do it. I do it because I love it. It's who I am, and I can't imagine me doing anything else. That's my mentality. So if that's yours, then good. You're on the track.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
All right, great. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, guys. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to partner readings. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 of us here today. So why don't we get Anne and Khalil to work together, and we'll get Patty and Celissa to work together, and Willanie, you and I will work together. So we'll start first with Anne and Khalil. Anne, why don't you go ahead and go first, and then Khalil can follow up. When you're ready, feel free to take it away.
Well, at first I was seeing red, and what I'm seeing is kind of all around your head is like little red mushroom clouds, and it doesn't feel hot. It feels exciting and powerful. And above that, in the very center, there's a lightning bolt that comes down towards it. It's not actively moving. It's just kind of sitting there. And then up above are blue and white raindrops. So it looks like to me that there's a lot of energy and excitement. Maybe you're kind of blowing it out with all of this, and maybe your guides or your higher self is trying to balance and moderate it a little bit.
That certainly sounds very reasonable. There's a lot of hold on a second. Let me quit this button. There's a lot of excitement that I have right now. A whole lot of things are happening. I'm noticing that a lot of the things that I've wanted to do over the years, I'm finally starting to do now. Whether it was starting a few months ago or some of the things that I've been kind of getting into are now coming to a place where I can do the next step, and so that definitely makes a lot of sense. And I have a ton of excitement about all that, and so I'm sure there's a ton of excitement flying all over the place.
Maybe I'm getting the feeling that there's so much excitement that it's creating that energy, like little explosions all around here. And maybe like Brad said, your guides are trying to tone it down a little bit so they can communicate with you. Maybe there's just so much going on, it's popping them away, and you're wanting them to come in.
Okay, that I could see that happening.
The less fragmented you're thinking, the more that your guides will come through. Because if you're scattered, it's kind of like having a spider web that has all these particular forms of threads shooting out. Your guides are trying to navigate around these threads, and it's like an asteroid field. So the more that you have that singular-mindedness, that connection to center, the more that your guides will be able to communicate with you more smoothly. Right, you're not super enriched by thought forms. You're just completely singular-minded. So that's basically representing. It doesn't mean you're competent. It just means that you're very much centered. You're connected to being. I am open to receive, so I'm not scattering myself a little bit. It can be a challenge to do that. And, I still battle with it at times as well. There's still times where I feel very scattered-minded as well too. And you just have to remind that if you want to receive guidance, come into the center. That's the key.
Okay, well, thank you guys.
Great. So, Khalil, whenever you feel ready, you can feel free to do reading again.
Okay. So I'm going to get it all out before I start talking about it.
Great.
Let's see. Shrink something a little bit here. right, so here's what I got. I feel that you're relaxing more. You're trying to center yourself more. You're still hungry for something. Then I asked what that was. Hungry for results. You want to definitely be patient. It's like the tortoise and the hare where the rabbit is running so fast that the rabbit's all by herself, like way ahead, and everybody else who can be part of the action is totally left behind, and they're not. It takes away from the enjoyment of the race without everybody all around you simultaneously. So to be patient, to let everything catch up with you, and to catch up at the pace where you want to go is going to be significant, and you'll find yourself enjoying it better. And also, okay, that was what I got.
That's perfect. That is me. I'm constantly being told when I have readings to stop, don't learn anything new, integrate what you have, stop searching for the next new thing. So you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's very good too as well, because that's the analogy that Jonas often uses to describe the collective consciousness in ourselves. Is that ourselves, we represent the speedy little hare. We're always jumping ahead. We're moving into our own personal evolution, and we're flying. Right? We want the collective consciousness to get there. Come on, I'm fast. Why aren't you doing this, right? There's this big, gigantic tortoise, just 100 times the size of the rabbit. The rabbit wants to just lap the turtle over and over and over again, and is now trying to push it and saying, "Come on, get your fat ass moving to the, to the end of the race, right?" And it's not going to budge. No matter how many times you want to press the collective consciousness, you're not going to make it budge one inch. And so that's kind of the whole feeling, is that the tortoise and the hare analogy is actually a very good analogy to use in regards to our own personal evolution in comparison to the planet evolution.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. And good advice. Thank you.
So I think Khalil must have been channeling their Jonas there. All right, excellent. Thank you, guys.
There.
Yeah, very good, guys. Thank you. All right, so let's move on to Patty and Celissa. Celissa, I'll get you to go ahead and go first, and then Patty, when you're ready, you can follow up. And Patty, again, it's just again any particular thoughts, feelings, sensations, visions that may come through in your mind that you feel when you look at Celissa. Just feel free to share it. That's really all the reading really is. So we'll start with Celissa first, and then Patty can follow up.
Okay. Hey, Patty.
Hi.
Around you. Okay, you've got at the base of your head. Well, it's your crown and it's your third eye area. You've got like a triangle, double triangle or diamond-ish, and it's the lavender because it's giving you a more softness so that you're not overwhelming at the moment, because you tend to think, oops, because you're thinking you have to catch up, and your guide's messages, don't worry about catching up. Pause, recalibrate, smile. You have wonderful gifts. So you just open up to that. You're going to receive, where are my strengths? Where am I really strong? I get the sense your hands, you're good with your hands, so pliable, so creativeness. You might be good with psychometry. So take an object, start playing. What can you pick up? With water or say a crystal. So you can start playing with that. That's going to relax you. That's what I'm picking up for you. You've also got Archangel Chamuel says it's for he's there around you for a certain calibration to open to receive more clarity for the flow of information. Because again, you've got that sense of overwhelm. So just to relax, recalibrate. It's all good. And start to feel okay. So that's what I got for you.
Okay, Patty, would you like to provide feedback?
Yeah, I think you're right on. I do. I have one of those minds that I'm so curious in so many things, and I've been getting the information, focus, and I see how I start out, during my day, and how I go from one thing to another, and I know my personality. I do myself better if I got up in the morning and got out the door and went for a walk, and then started focusing on the things that I know I want to integrate regularly. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I appreciate the message because I know that will help me with my focusing and flow. And yeah, I know that there are a lot of things there, and I know to just relax. I've been getting the message the last couple of years, quit looking outside of me, it's all there, and what have I been doing? I buy book after book, course after course, and it's like, I know that's not where it is. I know it's in here. So finally, thank God, at least I'm starting to make those steps.
But that's
So
okay.
thank you.
You could just pause, okay, just appreciate, okay, I've gotten a lot of stuff, I've done a lot of the courses. Appreciate that and say, okay, well now let's take the best of that and discover, well, what is it about me? What are my strengths? And just go with that, go with the flow.
Thank you.
So Patty, whenever you feel ready, you can go ahead and do a reading unsolicited.
Okay. Well, what I got when you first paired us together was that's exactly what I thought of when it said partnerships. I thought of Celissa, and what first came to me was was like mountains. It kind of looked like mountains to me, but then when I thought about it, I think it's actually frequencies that kind of look like mountains around you. And then I saw like a being off to your left, and which kind of looked like an angel to me, what I would consider an angel-y, but I don't know. And they had like a trumpet pointed towards your head, but it might not have been a trumpet. It was kind of long and tubular, but kind of like a trumpet. And then when I asked, well, why did I see the mountains or the frequencies, I had the thought that they're connected. I don't know if the frequencies that look like mountains to me around you were coming from that. And anyway, then I saw it looked like your second chakra, the orange. It looked like it was spiraling out and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't know what any of that means, if anything.
Still come. Yeah, it's one of those challenging chakras. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's the key as well too, is that you can always look into the depth of what you're receiving as well too. So if you're feeling you're getting a lot of these big spirals coming to the chakra centers, etc., then just ask Spirit, oh, why is she receiving this? Well, because her amplitude is expanding. She's moving into higher states of consciousness, and in doing so, your fields expand. So that's basically the spirals giving the interpretation of expanding fields. So she's opening herself up more into higher collective consciousness, and so she'll start moving more into collective thought forms, which represent sometimes planets, which can represent councils, which can represent stars, galaxies, etc. So basically, you're moving more into collective thought forms. So that's very good.
Yeah, it's needed. Because I was there once upon a getting back to that and beyond.
It can be challenging to get these things because you just know these things are coming together. Like, what's your, like, I know this stuff because 6 years of experience. I can look into these things. With when we're just starting, it was like, okay, I'm just getting spirals. Like, what does it mean? And she's getting bigger. Like, what do you mean? Like wait? No. You know, like, what's going on? Right? So,
you know,
it's challenging to express that. But you know, you keep working on it, and Spirit is very patient with you. It works alongside with you, so it's basically attempting to give you an interpretation that will serve, that you can make sense of. You just have to ask him.
You could have a conversation with Archangel Shamuel. He's there for you. You're his pet project. He's got a few of them. I don't always connect with him. My nickname for him is Shami. So.
Thank you.
But yeah, he's there for you.
Thank you very much.
You're also very connected to the Pleiades cluster as well too. You have a lot of rich Pleiadian energies. That's very, very strong. I also feel that there's a lot of connections to some of the ancient cultures of Earth that you're very connected. I'm also feeling the Aboriginals from Australia are actually a very strong connection as well too. So whatever you feel resonates with you the most. If you go, oh, okay, I want to go look right at the Pleiades, that's fine. I like to look in some of the ancient cultures, maybe start with the Aborigines, Australia, great, that's fine as well too. Whatever you feel helps you to resonate, to look more into the facets of what you are. It really helps out a lot as well. And it's all about trust. Like, again, you guys already have the intuition, you guys already have the psychic ability. It's all there. It's just about trust. Opening yourself up like a cone, having this information come through, being able to decrypt that information through trust, and then being able to interpret it. That's the whole key. Openness, trust, interpretation. Great job, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to Willany and myself. So, Willany, I'll get you to go ahead and start, and then I'll follow up.
Okay. After you paired me, I looked into it. I got a couple of symbols and visual pictures. The first one I got was first a tree, and then it zoomed into the roots of the foundation underneath. I think maybe it means that you need to take a look back at your root chakra and also your foundational beliefs that you may have. Then I saw a window. And the interesting thing about it was on each side, on the left and the right, they were illuminating white light. And I saw that as an opportunity that's about to unfold for you. Or it's already unfolding. Maybe you just want to open it. Mm-hmm. Then I saw about 4 circles, and I kind of asked, well, what did the 4 circles mean? And then it turned into 4 drawings of heads and boxy shoulders. So I feel like there are 4 beings that are behind you, guiding you right now. And I heard the word heart, and I think maybe you should look into your heart chakra. And the last thing I saw was a boat or a canoe that was on like a stillness of water. And the backdrop was a forest. And I just think that I felt like a calmness is coming, and just to I guess just support it and see the calmness around you too.
Right. I think that's almost playing very much on par to what Anna said, sure, as well too, in regards to like being on the river and a boat and all that. Actually remembering that. So it's good you guys are actually connected to the same source. So very good. All right, well done. Thank you, and that's very, very, very good as well too. I can feel definitely a lot of energies there. There's still a little bit of things of depth that I think you can go into a little bit more. But again, that's really good. Like again, with the heart space, I feel there's still something a little bit more that Spirit wants to tell you about my heart, but it may just not be fully in computer right now. But there's still a little bit more things that can go a little bit more in depth. But again, you're really, really good there. So again, keep going with those particular forms of metaphor. It is just reading, so we are just playing with it, so to speak. But when you're noticing, okay, there's something here with the heart. Okay, there's something still a little bit more that it wants to tell you about that. But that's good so far. You're doing great. Okay, so I will go ahead and connect with Willany right now. Let's see what comes through. Your soul of your child is communicating with you. Okay, so there is a connection with the soul that's going to be embodied with a child, and I do feel that you will be getting a child coming here probably the next couple of years. Okay, so they are around you right now, and they're basically trying to actually teach you what their name would like to be. I don't want to give you this sex. But it's basically they're trying to educate you in regards to how you can become a really complimentary parent to them, for both you and Khalil. Seems like the entity is communicating more with you because you're carrying the baby, of course. So it feels like, unless Khalil wants to volunteer, but just being able to really educate you, because you're going to have a very, very special child. Really intelligent, very psychic, very intuitive. And so they want to be able to share with you this information. Kind of feels like they're behind a legion of other beings as well, too, like your angels, archangels, etc. They're working alongside you and saying, look into this a little bit more further. Now, basically, they're going to give them a soul name. This does not mean that it's going to be the name of the child or anything like that, but a soul name that's going to come through. Okay.
Okay.
Eva. Okay.
Nice.
So that will be the name of the soul. Now, that's not the name of the child, and that doesn't determine the sex. But this is basically the name that you can connect with, and just being able to utilize this in your meditation practices. Okay, but I feel like the soul is there. It's like Eva is saying, okay, you know, Mom, you're getting ready to be a parent here. You know, I'll be bonding with Mommy and Daddy here, and so I'm basically just teaching you all this new education. about what you can do. And so they're kind of preparing you, not only in regards to what it is to be a parent, but actually in the preparation states of pregnancy, right? So the EVA energy will be working together with you, very detailed, helping you calibrate yourself to becoming a really amazing parent.
Okay. That's awesome, because Anne was talking about pink energy, and I've been told by others pink energy, and then I had a conversation with Khalil recently, if not like yesterday, about how with how things are becoming, I want to be able to have a, you know, be a good parent in what I know now from what I've known in the past. So this is pretty cool.
The vibration of this that can really help to connect with you more comes through a rattle.
Okay.
If you have a rattle, it doesn't have to be like a baby rattle. It can be like a, you know, a rattle or anything like that. Anything that represents a rattle, even like a shamanic rattle as well too, is great. Whatever you feel is good, but being able to actually chant this name, you know, Eva, Eva, you know, kind of, I was kind of getting into like the native traditions as well too, right? And being able to do the rattle as well too. This will really deeply connect you to the Eva spirit. So that's what we're now the Eva spirit does feel very feminine, but doesn't mean that it can't be a boy as well too, right? Just means that there's a lot of feminine energy coming in. There will also be a masculine integration to the soul as well too that will be coming eventually, but I feel right now the feminine wants to talk to you first before the masculine version of the Eva soul can come through.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. That's quite nice. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm just getting like this rattle, and I'm getting like the native Indian chants in my head now as well too. It's great. Fantastic. All right, so that's what I will leave with you, William. So again, congratulations for that, for the upcoming child. Feels like they're going to be a really great blessing to you in Khalil's life.
Great, thanks.
All right, great. Okay, guys, yeah, Khalil's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And Khalil can certainly tap into this soul as well, to the exact same thing as well. Just being able to look into Eva, utilizing the rattle. Pink energy is very good as well too. Also kind of like a blending of magenta energy as well too. So kind of pink and magenta energy and a hue will actually help to connect with this a lot more, should you want some color visualizations. Okay. All right, great. Well, guys, that concludes our class for today. And unfortunately, yes, this has been recorded, so it's not like yesterday. So you guys can go ahead and check back on this recording. I'll be sending the class recording here shortly after we're done. But thank you again for another amazing class this Sunday. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday wherever you are. And Monday and Tuesday are available for those who are going to be here. So thank you, and I'll see you guys then. Take care. Much love. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank
you.
Bye.
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 Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Bye.